Friday, October 10th, 2025, AGNDD intelliReport topic, Maria Corina Machado. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated article-based video. Maria Corina Machado, Venezuelan engineer, activist, and opposition leader fighting for democracy amid political turmoil. Maria Corina Machado, born October 7, 1967 in Caracas, Venezuela, descends from nobility and historical figures like the Marquis of Toro and Eduardo Blanco. Daughter of psychologist Corina Parisca and businessman Henrique Machado Zuloaga, she holds an industrial engineering degree from Andres Bello Catholic University, a finance master's from IESA, and was a 2009 Yale World Fellow. A mother of three, she founded Fundación Atenea in 1992 to aid orphaned and delinquent street children, chaired Oportunitas Foundation, and worked in the auto industry before moving to Caracas in 1993. She left the foundation to prevent politicization from her Sumate involvement. In 2001, Maria Corina Machado and Alejandro Plaz founded Sumate, a Venezuelan civil group amid concerns over national polarization. Aiming for ballots over bullets, they led a 2004 petition drive for a referendum to recall President Hugo Chavez. Post-referendum, Machado faced treason charges for receiving U.S. NED funding, drawing condemnation from Human Rights Watch, the U.S., and global leaders as an attack on democracy. She acknowledged Chavez's positives but criticized his intolerance. Additional 2002 coup-related charges were suspended indefinitely in 2006. In 2011, Maria Corina Machado launched her bid for Venezuela's 2012 presidential election, hailed by media as the opposition's new face and a potential Chavez challenger. Analyst Michael Shifter praised her ability to appeal to Chavez supporters with a post-Chavez vision. On January 13, 2012, she confronted Chavez during his State of the Nation speech, criticizing shortages, crime, and expropriations as stealing. Though Henrique Capriles won the opposition primary, Machado conceded early and pledged support for him. In February 2010, Maria Corina Machado resigned from Sumate to run for Venezuela's National Assembly, representing Miranda municipalities as a Justice First member of the opposition MUD coalition against Chavez's PSUV. She won the April primary, campaigning in pro-Chavez slums on issues like crime, outages, housing shortages, and 30% inflation. Machado criticized government propaganda, biased state media favoring PSUV, and funding challenges due to reprisal fears. Chavez was accused of violating laws by using state TV for campaigning, with the pro-Chavez Electoral Council ignoring complaints. State media ridiculed opponents and cut off her interviews. Maria Corina Machado won a seat in Venezuela's National Assembly on September 25, 2010, as the nation's top vote-getter, alongside fellow Justice First candidate Enrique Mendoza. She criticized President Chavez for framing the election as a referendum on himself, interpreting the results as a rejection of authoritarianism, militarization, centralization, and a Cuba-like model. Machado declared a new democratic phase, emphasizing her legitimacy from the people's vote and Venezuela's clear no to Cuban-style communism. On March 21, 2014, amid Venezuelan protests, opposition leader Maria Corina Machado addressed the Organization of American States, OAS, as Panama's alternate envoy, discussing the crisis in Venezuela. Pro-Maduro lawmakers, dominating the National Assembly, deemed her appearance unconstitutional and removed her from her seat, per the Wall Street Journal. Machado denounced Assembly President Diosdado Cabello for establishing a dictatorship and called her ousting illegal. Maria Corina Machado led 2014 protests against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Accused of treason, she was removed from the National Assembly. A march to reclaim her seat was halted by National Guard tear gas. In May, officials alleged a coup plot via emails, later proven forged by U.S. firm Kivu. Subpoenas and arrest warrants followed. Charges were filed in November, which Machado called a distraction from economic woes and Maduro's low approval. From 2014 to 2021, she hosted a political radio show on Radio Caracas Radio. Maria Corina Machado announced on February 1, 2019, her intent to run for Venezuelan president if Juan Guaido called elections amid the crisis. As a leading opposition candidate for the next election, she dismissed primaries, focusing on ousting Maduro with full force, stating, "We win with a huge majority or Maduro steals the election." Pollster Felix Sejas noted her broadened appeal beyond radicals. On June 30, 2023, the government disqualified her from office for 15 years due to her role in anti-government protests. Maria Corina Machado joined Venezuela's 2023 opposition primaries in August 2022, opposing CNE involvement and advocating manual voting. She launched her campaign in March 2023, criticizing traditional opposition parties and seeking negotiations with Chavismo. Disqualified for 15 years in June 2023 over alleged ties to Guaido and sanctions, the ban drew international condemnation as arbitrary. She won the primaries in October 2023, but had the disqualification upheld by the Supreme Court in January 2024. Machado named Corina Lloris as her alternate. Unable to register, Lloris selected Edmundo González Urrutia as replacement. Maria Corina Machado led Venezuela's opposition, boosting candidate Edmundo González's poll leads. If victorious, she's expected to be the de facto leader, akin to Chávez's 1998 rise amid crisis. Their July 4th campaign launch drew massive crowds. The New York Times praised her democracy and economic revival promises. Post-falsified elections she hid, publishing evidence of opposition win in the Wall Street Journal. On January 9, 2025, government forces attempted her arrest after a rally, shooting at her vehicle in Caracas. Maria Corina Machado, a Venezuelan opposition leader, opposes Chavismo and has clashed with other factions. She promotes popular capitalism, advocating privatization of state entities like PDVSA. Machado supports international sanctions and foreign intervention to oust Maduro on humanitarian grounds. Barred from the 2023 primaries, she backed candidate Edmundo González. Domestically, she seeks to ban political re-election, favors same-sex marriage, medical cannabis legalization, and abortion debates for life-threatening or rape cases. In 2024, she emphasized universal education and judicial reform. She admires Margaret Thatcher. Maria Corina Machado expressed solidarity with Israel after the October 7, 2023 attacks, thanking it for supporting Venezuelan opposition leaders like Edmundo González and Juan Guaido. She plans to restore diplomatic ties severed in 2009 over the Gaza war. In February 2025, she addressed a Patriots.eu rally in Madrid. A staunch Trump supporter, she hailed him as a visionary for opposing Maduro, praising his 2025 Caribbean Navy deployment. Machado backs military force to oust Maduro, with her advisor revealing coordination with the Trump administration and a post-deposition plan. Maria Corina Machado, dubbed the Lady of Steel, is praised for her courage in staying in Venezuela amid political turmoil. She faced multiple attacks by government supporters. In 2011, stoned at a bicentennial event and assaulted during her presidential campaign. In 2013, injured in a National Assembly brawl, broken nose, and at a rally with stones and fireworks. In 2014, attacked at Puerto Ordaz Airport and in Caricuao, where her vehicle was damaged by colectivos. Authorities sometimes intervened, but no attackers were punished. Maria Corina Machado has received numerous accolades for her advocacy of democracy in Venezuela. In 2005, she met President Bush, who praised her Summate work. National Review honored her in 2006. She joined Yale's World Fellows in 2009. In 2015, she shared the Cádiz Cortez Prize with Lopez and Ledesma. BBC named her among 100 most influential women in 2018, followed by Liberal International's prize in 2019. In 2024, she won the Václav Havel and Sakharov prizes with González. Time listed her in its 2025 100 most influential, lauded by Rubio for her resilience. On August 16, 2024, the Inspira America Foundation, led by Marcel Felipe, partnered with rectors from 4 U.S. universities to advocate for Maria Corina Machado's nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize, praising her lifelong dedication to peace and Venezuela's liberation. On October 10th, Machado received the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts in advancing democratic rights and facilitating a peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy in Venezuela. She dedicated the award to Venezuela's suffering people and President Trump for his support. Maria Corina Machado, a prominent Venezuelan opposition leader, is divorced and a devout Catholic. She has 3 children who live abroad for safety reasons, having fled due to severe death threats against the family in their home country. Venezuela's opposition is gaining momentum against President Maduro. Edmundo Gonzalez, a former diplomat, has risen from political obscurity to prominence, potentially set to be sworn in as president in 2025, according to opposition claims. Maria Corina Machado, dubbed the Iron Lady, leads the charge, threatening to unseat the autocrat amid disputed elections and widespread protests. Maria Corina Machado remains a key Venezuelan opposition figure, championing democracy amid ongoing political persecution and exile.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.